What's going on, guys? Okay. This is my Antihero remix. I'm going to do a quick breakdown of this and then give you guys the project file. So, first things first, let's take a look here at the master. This is very standard. If you've watched any of my other breakdown videos lately, which you haven't because I have not uploaded them yet. That's going to change either tonight or tomorrow morning. This is the master I've been using, and this is the master that's going to go on my 2023 master template. So first things first, this post equalizer right here, this is built to resemble the changes that were occurring from the match EQ. The thing with the match EQ that I'm not a big fan of with some of these tracks is that when they're in different keys, it does weird things to the sub bass like this. I don't want that, so instead of using the slider at all, I simply figure out what it's doing, and then I go in and map out bell curves to kind of match what is going on in the match EQ. So that's what I did here. This is an image push. It's just pushing the image of the overall bands right there to get a little bit of a wider sound out of the master. This is M-Wave Shaper. This is used to just get some crunch. Pushing this curve like this gets a little bit of a more fat and crunchy sound out of the master before it goes into the hard clipper, which I've been using OVC 128. This is a paid plugin. It's comparable to Clip Shifter, but it's substantially better, but it is paid. If you don't have this or you don't want to buy it, just throw on a Clip Shifter and throw the gain up to 3. You'll be good to go. After that, we have my extra sub guy, extra low, whatever. Can't remember what the fuck I named these guys. And then one more, I always do like a micro curve right here. This is like -5 right there, just pushed up a wee little bit. Set the dry wet pretty low for even more crunchy crunch before the end. And then for whatever reason, there were some like peaks after, so I just threw a G clip on. Very low impact clipper. That's the master chain, very straightforward. You've seen it before, probably. Now let's go down and I'm going to dissect some of these sounds. In previous videos, I've shown you what I do for the intro and shit. I'm not even going to waste my time because I'll just let you look at that if you want when you download the project. Let's go into the drop so that you can see some of the meat and potatoes here. So first things first, I apologize. I don't organize these remix videos because it takes a lot of time to organize. These remix videos are very quickly executed for the sake of me delivering content on a regular basis. So I'm not sitting here trying to make them look super pretty at this moment in time. That being said, there's a couple notable things that I want to show you. So first things first, this guy right here, this is my main chug sound. And I want to show you exactly how I made him because I know that's kind of what everybody likes about this this remix so far. So first things first, let me get rid of the duplicates here on the, automation tracks. Okay, so that's the gun sound. So this was made by basically this right here, okay? Nope, wrong, incorrect, sorry. This guy right here. So basically I resampled it and cut off the so there's like some little fluff here at the beginning. You'll see like that. It basically looked like that. I cut that off so it hit a little bit harder. It didn't have as much of like an attack, and yeah, it was that. So that's why I resampled it. But basically all of the sound design is here. I'm going to show you what it looks like. So first things first, I use this Boonda sample, but it's literally just there for having something sonic. So listen. Completely different, right? It's just this little like tick click sound. I feed it into the first comb filter right here, and I turn the resonance up, and that basically gives it a little bit more like sustain. EQ here to cut out all the low end, and then here I have I basically split 2 frequency shifters. One of them just changes the frequency, turns it down a little bit. The other one feeds it right into a vocoder that's on a noise mode, and then into an OTT. I adjusted the mid side with this guy and then adjusted the gain a little bit. so you know, while I'm doing this, this isn't like I'm like, oh, let's do this and this and this, and it's not like I'm like sitting here and I'm envisioning this entire fucking chain of effects when I first drag the sound in. This is all like as I go, literally from left to right. It's just me continually putting shit on the sound to get it to exactly what I want, if that makes sense. So it's literally trial and error from left to right. So everything that I do on the left is what I did first, and everything that I do over here to the right is just, it's continuing the procedure. Another or high pass right there. Now this is kind of what's doing a lot of the heavy lifting. I split the signal into two serum effects with more comb filters. They're both pointed to completely different frequencies. So as you can see, this one looks like this, and this one looks like this. And that's doing that is kind of how you get like a specific tone out of it, as well as like a feel. It fucks with the phase. It fucks with a lot of different things. It's really just experimentation. And that's, again, what I just told you. This is what that was. Experimentation. And I got it to sound good. The reason why I split the signal was because when I just had one, it felt too thin. So I opted to put another one. And when I turned the frequency lower, it added in like a deeper layer. This guy right here, this is this automation that you see. This is just so the sound like pokes a little bit. It's almost like manual transient shaping. And then we got some more EQ. I boosted the high end right there. Ozone 7 right here. This is to match the frequency to something. I don't even remember what I matched it to. But that's what that guy's doing. Excuse me. A couple EQ3s for a little bit of a disperser effect. Some kilohertz transient shaper, again, to just try to keep getting it to poke out there more. The poke and the impact is everything. A more high-end lift right here with Ozone 7. I wanted to get really specific with the EQ, so I did it in Ozone 7 instead of Ableton. And then finally, Golfos. So I understand that this is a lot of third-party plugins that you might not have. I apologize, but that's why I do these breakdowns, so that you can see what goes on when I'm doing this shit. Once again, let me reiterate for the final time, this is all trial and error. That's how this sound design goes. It's how it goes for me 90% of the time. I just keep adding on shit until I get the sound the way that I want it. And then even you saw it's still not enough because I had to go ahead and resample it. So that's what that is. Beyond that, we have this little screechy sound. So I actually made this in Vital. It's not massive. I usually do my like screechy sounds in massive. This is Vital. And the way that it looks is it's basically just a bass with this filter on it, which has a very, very high resonance peak. Automate it like that, and then clip the living shit out of it, and then put on that compressor. That's what's going on to make that sound. From there, it's just more trial and error. Ultimately, though, another comb filter is doing some pretty substantial work of just making it sound a lot like thinner and airier. And then lastly, this guy right here, which is my cranked out parallel ring mod. It's adding that sort of like choky sound to it by just adjusting the ring mod frequency right there. So more trial and error. It's so fun. Now let's go down here real quick. This guy is just it's like a base layer, I think. Nope, this was like the little clicky layer. I wanted a little like sort of metallic clicky layer. It didn't end up sticking out as much as I wanted it to, but turning it up more kind of made it too present. Getting rid of it made it like too empty, so I just left it as is. It didn't fill the role I wanted it to, but it ended up working anyway. And then a lot of these other things, let me show you this real quick. This sound right here. So this is a sample from a sample pack I bought. But what I did is I stretched the living shit out of it, and I set it to tones warp mode. So this initially sounded like, let's see, dubstep 01 bass 35. Dubstep 01 bass 35. That's what that sounded like. And by stretching it, I got it to sound like this. Okay, and then basically what I did was I put a very, very loud sub underneath it. And then into Clipper right here, as you can see, this whole group is being pushed into this hard wave shaper curve, which is basically distorting the piss out of it, making it sound super choked out and very, very fat. Beyond that, let's see, this little guy is one of my serum presets. Just a little bit of like an extra thing. I made this hit like whenever the kick was, but it kind of like stopped doing that after a certain point because I changed the kick pattern. So it's just in there doing its own thing. Didn't sound bad, so I didn't take it out. One of my samples, and this is just kind of like an offbeat, like what sound. It's like a bass, but it sounds like it's saying what, so it layers really well under the what that I have up here. This guy right here, just another sample that I have. Again, I wanted it to go on like the kick, kind of. Once again, it didn't really stay there because I changed the kick pattern, so it's still just doing its own fucking thing, whatever the fuck it wants. But it sounds good. Again, randomness is sometimes good. This guy right here, very quick vital patch that I made. Basically, this first channel right here is a sine wave, and I basically just took the first patch that I made, got rid of everything on it except for, it being a sine wave, got rid of the filter, got rid of all the effects, just made it a sine wave so that I could distort these two together using this G-clip right here. Then put some dispersing on it using EQ3. This patch looks like this. I basically just like modulated a bunch of different fucking things until it sounded good. Modulated these wavetables. I got these for free off of Reddit. And then the pitch. I also did the pitch on this one because I wanted it to do that wow wow sound. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll let you guys explore everything else that's going on in here. It's all pretty straightforward beyond that. It's not anything you haven't seen before. I'll tell you about this kick real fast. So this kick is basically, it's one of my ripped kicks, and then I threw an ivory kick on as a top kick. As you can see, I tried a cashmere top kick. It sounded like ass. So I just went and got an ivory kick. And I EQ'd out all the low end, made it just the high end, and then from there I just EQ'd this kick the way it was supposed to be. All these ripped kicks that I have end up needing a little bit of like a low shelf nerfing. And then I put on transient shaper, and then I did some more EQ fixing like this to make it sound the way that I wanted it to, which is fat low end, not super present mid end, and very clicky, clacky high end. So that's pretty much it. And yeah. That's all she wrote. So I'm going to get this packaged up for you guys, and so that's it. All I got for you guys. Hope you like this, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.